midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I'd sought to borrow from my books, surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore. The rare, radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. The silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, 'Tis some visitor, treating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor, treating entrance at my chamber door. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there. Nothing more. Revenge is a dish best served in darkness with a glass of your finest wine. Your relationship with Fortunato was complicated, to say the least.
The 1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne at best I could. But when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. You, who so well know the nature of my soul, will not suppose, however, that gave utterance to a threat.
You would be avenged.
At length, this was a point definitely settled. But the very definitiveness with which it was resolved precluded the idea of risk. I must not only punish, but punish with impunity. A wrong is unredressed when retribution overtakes its redresser. It is equally unredressed when the avenger fails to make himself felt as such to him who has done the wrong.
I must understand. Either by word or deed had you given Fortunato cause to doubt your goodwill?
I continued, as was my wont, to smile in his face, and he did not perceive that my smile was now at the thought of his immolation. He had a weak point, this Fortunato. Although in other regards he was a man to be respected, and even feared. He prided himself on his connoisseurship in wine. Few Italians have the true virtuoso spirit. For the most part, their enthusiasm is adopted to suit the time and opportunity, to practice imposture upon the British millionaires. In painting and gemmery, Fortunato, like his countrymen, was a quack. But in the matter of old wines, he was sincere.
In this respect, you do not differ from him materially.
I am skillful in the Italian vintages myself, and bought largely whenever I could. It was about dusk one evening during the supreme madness of the carnival season that I encountered my friend. He accosted me with excessive warmth, for he had been drinking much. The man wore motley. He had on a tight-fitting, hard-a-strip dress, and his head was surmounted by the conical cap and bells. I was so pleased to see him that I thought I should never have done wringing his hand.
What did you say to him?
My dear Fortunato, you are luckily met. How remarkably well you are looking today. But I have received a pipe of what passes for Amontillado, and I have my doubts.
How? Amontillado? A pipe? Impossible. In the middle of the carnival.
I have my doubts. And I was silly enough to pay full Amontillado price without consulting you in the matter. You were not to be found, and I was fearful of losing a bargain.
Amontillado?
I have my doubts.
Amontillado!
And I must satisfy them.
Amontillado!
As you are engaged, I am on my way to Lucrece. If anyone has a critical turn, it is he. And he will tell me it.
Lucrece cannot tell Amontillado from sherry.
And yet some fools will have it that his taste is a match for your own.
Come, let's go.
Whither?
To the vaults.
My friend, no. I will not impose upon your good nature. I perceive you have an engagement. Lucrece is...
I have no engagement. Come.
My friend, no. It is not the engagement, but the severe cold with which I perceive you are afflicted. The vaults are insufferably damp, and they're encrusted with niter.
Let us go nonetheless. The cold is merely nothing. Amontillado! You have been imposed upon. And as for Lucrece, he can't distinguish sherry from Amontillado. Where are your attendants?
It appears they've absconded to make merry in the hour of the time. I told them that I should not return until morning, and gave them explicit orders not to stir from the house.
These orders were sufficient, as you well knew, to ensure their immediate disappearance, one and all.
As soon as my back was turned. I take it you remember the way.
Indeed.
Then after you, my friend.
The pipe?
It is farther on, but observe the white webwork which gleams from these cavern walls.
Niter?
Niter. How long have you had that cough?
Oh, it's nothing, I promise.
Come, we'll go back. Your health is precious. You are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy, as once I was. You're a man to be missed. For me, it is no matter. We will go back. You will be ill, and I cannot be responsible. Besides, there's Lucrece.
The cough's a mere nothing. It will not kill me. I shall not die from a cough.
True. True. And indeed, I had no intention of alarming you unnecessarily, but you should use all proper caution. A draught of this medic will defend us from the damps. Drink.
I drink to the buried that repose around us.
And I to your long life.
These vaults are extensive.
The Montresors were a great and numerous family.
I forget your arms.
A huge human foot d'or and a field of azure. The foot crushes a serpent, rampant, whose fangs are embedded in the heel.
And the motto?
Nemo me impune laciescit. No one attacks me with impunity.
Good.
The inmost recesses of the catacombs. The niter. See, it increases. It hangs like a moss upon the vaults. We are below the river's bed. The drops of moisture trickle among the bones. Come, we'll go back ere it is too late. Your cough.
It's nothing. Let us go on. But first, another draught of that medic. You do not comprehend.
Not I.
Then you're not of the Brotherhood.
How?
You're not of the Masons.
Yes. Yes.
You? Impossible! A Mason?
A Mason.
A sign.
It is this.
You jest. But let us proceed to the Amontillado.
Be it so. Proceed. Herein is the Amontillado. As for Lucrece,
he is an ignoramus.
Pass your hand over the wall. You cannot help but feeling the niter. Indeed, it is very damp. Once more, let me implore you to return. No? Then I must positively leave you. but I must first render you all the little attentions in my power.
The Amontillado!
True! The Amontillado!
A very good joke indeed. An excellent jest. We will have many rich laugh about it at the plaza. Over our wine.
The Amontillado!
Yes, the Amontillado. But is it not getting late? Will not they be awaiting us at the plaza? The Lady of Fortunato and the rest. Let us be gone.
Yes, let us be gone.
For the love of God, Montresor!
Yes! For the love of God! Fortunato! Impace requiescat.
Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word.
Lenore?
Yes, I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word. No. Merely this, nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before.
Surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, nothing more.
Open here I flung the shutter when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and said, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance he wore.
Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me, what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore.
Quoth the raven, Nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevance he bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered.
Other friends have flown before. On the morrow you will leave me as my hopes have flown before.
The bird said, Nevermore.